Hi Capricorn. Welcome to Virgo season. You know, whenever the sun is in your element, it's a much more easygoing energy for you than Virgo season may be for others. Because hard work, practicality comes quite naturally to you. It is your element. It is that earthy, grounded energy where you feel as though you have your feet in the ground. For you guys, this is a very expansive energy though. Because it's happening in that sector of the sky for you that rules all the higher thoughts, the free thinking thoughts, changing your perspective, changing the way you view the world, having a bird's eye view of all the situations that have been troubling you so much over the last 2 years, more so recently. So Leo season for you was very interesting. It was kind of, there was a lot of darkness. There was a lot of realizations for Capricorn people that certain things couldn't be ignored anymore. Certain things weren't the way they once were. And now that we're in Virgo season, you're actually a lot more okay with it. So that's a positive thing. You're very in touch with your emotions, but a lot of this realization, a lot of this, oh, they weren't who they once were, things have changed in that dynamic, but the change is okay, we're dealing with that. Could be surrounding a water sign, a Cancer, a Pisces, or a Scorpio. So your feelings around this person could be calming down. They could be getting a bit more, you could be more okay. You could be seeing the situation for what it is. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, you're just not as much in flux about this person or the situation. If it's not a person, it's that you're becoming a lot more in tune with your emotions. You're becoming a lot more aware of how you feel, why you're feeling it, and what you can do about it and what you can't control. Your ruler Saturn is about to go direct in your sign. And during Virgo season, the Sun, the new moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars all form positive alliances with Saturn and Pluto in your sign. And the full moon in Pisces offers you a chance to have quite an important conversation surrounding a sibling possibly, or someone you regard as family. For a lot of you it's an air sign, for a lot of you it's a Libra, an Aquarius, or a Gemini, but there's tension there. There's somebody in your life that you're kind of having a discord with, and you feel as though you're no longer okay with that sort of harboring of a grudge, and you want to reach out to this person. So Pisces energy for Capricorn is third house, 3 of Pentacles. If you have trouble with a sibling, there's going to be a conversation or an opportunity or a circumstance around the full moon in Pisces on the 14th where you can air your grievances or reach some kind of conclusion. If you're dealing with an air sign, romantically speaking, a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius, they're helping you out in more practical matters. And that's actually where love in Virgo season comes from. That is where Venus in Virgo shows how much they care about a person. They don't do that, I love you so much, let's give you a heart-shaped balloon. They're more like, I will sort this out for you. I will work with you on this. I'll give you some practical advice here. I'll tend to these matters with you. And for a lot of Capricorns, that's how you love too. That's how you show people how much you care about them. That is how you show people how much they mean to you, is by helping them, by giving them advice. Because to Capricorns, advice is money. It's very precious. You don't just give it to anybody. You're not the unsolicited advice Piscean person who gives advice for free all the time. You know that it matters. You know that it's important. You don't give it to anybody. And you especially aren't going to give it to anybody anymore that's not listening to you, because you're tired of that. You're tired of giving people your talent for free. That's not Capricorn. No, Capricorns don't do that. They don't give their talent away for free, and they don't give it away for cheap either. So just make sure, as we get into Virgo season, that you're not doing that in your relationships, because you're fine with business, you're fine with money. You can charge as much as you want. And to an extent, that's maybe why you have a grievance with a sibling or a friend or a co-worker. Oh, that's been going on for a while. Hanged Man, 7 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles. You've been out in the cold with somebody, and someone's been out in the cold with you, Capricorn, for quite a while, or long enough to make you a bit tired of waiting. To an extent, there's a conversation here that has not occurred because somebody in your life is not speaking, you're not speaking, and you're actually both waiting for that. You're both out in the cold, but there's a tie here. There's something that could connect you in a way that is stronger than what separates you for this person. But if you're dealing with somebody that you want to hear from that you're not hearing from, you're both waiting for it. Okay. And that Pisces full moon is going to help you. If it's a Libra, they're coming in very strong. Libra energy is coming in very strong for Capricorns. And to an extent, this also tells me that Libra season is going to be quite particular for you. Oh, Temperance. There's a mending of fences. And in both cases, Capricorn, each of you thought the other was right. There's a level of discord running through this reading that has been, dare I say, a lot more to do with you than possibly the other person. And that can be, especially if you have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, a lot of Pisces in your chart, or even Aquarius in your chart. Because the big hitters, the big planets like Pluto, like Neptune, that retrograde, and they retrograde for a long time. And I think if in particular for Capricorn instead of Scorpio, there is somebody that you're on the outs with, there's somebody that you're not speaking to, not communicating with, where there's discord, that is a long overdue fixing. And I see Temperance here as Jupiter being direct, because Jupiter is in Sagittarius, much in the way Saturn is in Capricorn, you know, Neptune's in Pisces. That's a host of planets that are housing their own sign, and that is when signs feel like they've gone home. But when the retrograde comes along, you have to reevaluate your own stuff. And particularly with Jupiter being in the sector for you that is the subconscious, it's the psychic, it is the... I once read... Someone described the 12th house as the emotional dustbin of the zodiac. That's where all your rubbish thoughts go to. Okay. A successful conclusion. And this is because you can see things from that bird's eye view. This Virgo energy is very, very, very positive for you. Very positive. So don't lose sight of what this can actually achieve. Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius energies are very, very present within this card, but the World card is actually ruled by Saturn. Saturn, your ruler, Saturn that's going direct. Big changes come with your ruler going direct. Trust me. And also, they're never as flashing obvious as Venus or Mercury being retrograde and then going direct. They're never as obvious. You can feel like life is going smoothly whenever your own ruler or a big hitting planet goes retrograde. But by the end of the cycle, you think, oh, that pulled up some stuff. For you, it pulled up a level of acceptance. And especially if it's to do with a Libra. There's pulling up a level of acceptance. Or a Pisces. Where you're just accepting them for who they are and you know better now, and you think, you know, we could actually live side by side or be cordial for the sake of our family, for the sake of this project, for the sake of our job. We can be cordial. And this doesn't have to be in the, you know, any sign that I'm mentioning. It can be another sign. It could be an Aquarius. It could be an Aries. Speaking of Aries. Page of Wands and the Four of Cups. A work opportunity that is less than what you were hoping for and not quite what you were expecting. Don't reject anything right away. Something comes up in work that you feel like is less than what you accept, less than what you deserve, less than your talents. As I say, you will not sell your talents short, but do not reject an opportunity just because somebody can't convey it the way you'd like them to. You could be dealing with someone that's not properly selling this to you, but it could be a good opportunity. So just anything that pops up this month in terms of work, in terms of travel, in terms of an opportunity that's a bit, it may not seem quite what you expected, but it's important. Okay. There's a lot of healing. That full moon in Pisces is confusing. It's beautiful. I think it's a lovely full moon, but my rising is Pisces, so I would. But the interesting part of this Piscean energy is that all the mutable energy is showing you that everything, you know, there's this expression that the moon has many faces. Everything that happens this month with that Pisces full moon has more than one story. And none of them are necessarily the truth. It's teaching you what's an illusion and how much of life actually is an illusion and how much of it is not set in stone. And that is not always the most comfortable thing for Capricorn people, especially when you're not willing to participate in any more changes than are necessary. But that full moon might make you walk away from something, but it may also make you follow a dream. It may also make you aware of this little lingering feeling inside yourself, this little calling that you can't ignore anymore. Because this Piscean full moon is so full of fantasy. And Jupiter makes things seem bigger than they are. And to have it in your 12th house, you know, you will be having feelings of clairvoyancy almost. Even if you're not that way inclined, you'll be feeling very connected. You'll be running into people that you just thought of. You'll be having dreams about people. You'll be having epiphanies. You'll be having premonitions. So if you have a premonition about a dream, that's a sign. There's a lot of changes. A lot of changes with this Pisces full moon. And Mars in Virgo is squaring off Jupiter. Your spiritual path is testing you quite a bit. So your belief system, if you were raised with a particular religion, you're not so sure anymore. Page of Pentacles, your vibe. You know you have a lot to offer, but you're never going to consistently be the person you were as a child, so why do you decide to believe exactly what you were taught as a child? You know things are different, particularly if you're dealing with your parents. You're questioning them more. You're questioning what they taught you. And if you are dealing with that sibling that's tricky, that person that's tricky, letting them be who they are and accepting yourself for who you are is the only way to win this battle. If you don't, if you decide to keep the conflict going, be it with your partner even, be it with anybody, it will continuously go on a loop for the rest of your life. But Jupiter going direct in your 12th house, although it may, because this is going to be the first full month where it's direct since I think it was April, so technically March. I think with Jupiter being direct now, you see the bigger picture so much clearly, especially in Virgo season. Whether you're dealing with a relationship where two people are in very different positions on where it's going to go, whether you're dealing with somebody that you just can't get over but you can't speak to, whether there's a conflict that has been ongoing for years, it's about to change direction. It's about to go in a different way. You have an option this month, Capricorn, to do something, dare I say, devious. Because I think unless you're dealing with another earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, or another Capricorn, there's an opportunity to do something devious. But with the Wheel of Fortune here, and I think it's in work. I don't think it's in particularly trying to screw somebody over. I think it's in work. Your fortune lies on being brave, but being ethical. Whatever it is that you decide to do this month, your fortune lies on that. And just bear in mind, I've talked about this over and over and over and over. Saturn will always be hardest on its own children. Saturn is the father, and Saturn wants you to be the best version of yourself, but they don't have that maternal thing, which is why I think this full moon is going on at such a good time for you. You have an opportunity to heal a relationship. I would consider the ethics behind it, whether it's letting them go, whether it's accepting it for what it is. But on the other side of this Five of Swords lies your fortune. And I think the wonderful thing about the Five of Swords is that it teaches us that even if you win the battle and you've won against the others for whatever reason, for whatever tactics you've used, you have a lot of swords, but you don't have a lot of friends. Not everything is all about business. Not everything, nobody else is perfect. If you're dealing with conflict with people, I do suggest this month that there's an opportunity to be firm, but an opportunity to be fair. A lot of this is balance, as we can see with temperance and justice, karmic balance. The universe is very aware of what you're doing. And with Saturn going through your sign, we've seen it consistently on the news. The majority of people taken down with the Me Too movement, the majority of people that have been called out and things are Capricorns. You just have to be very aware of keeping your own karma clean, because Saturn takes out those within it that oftentimes, there's good and bad of every sign. I think you have an opportunity to do something wonderful with the month. You have an opportunity to heal a relationship you thought you wouldn't heal. And I think for a lot of you it's family, but I do think for others of you it's romantic. And I think for some of you it is a lot of joy lying on the other side of just simply accepting somebody. And if it's business, don't write it off. If it's business, don't write it off. I will see you in the extended reading linked below, Capricorn. Have a wonderful Virgo season. We go through the bits that may seem a little bit tricky, but for the most part, this is going to be an absolutely fantastic month for you, with Uranus being in your love zone. Your surprises are happening there. It's all very complementary with Saturn. It's very complementary with Pluto. It's very complementary with Virgo. It's a great time to be an earth sign, and that is what the Wheel of Fortune is telling you. Fortune favors the brave. But karma does not favor the devious. So you have an opportunity this month to be the best version of yourself. Consider why you might want to reject an opportunity. Consider why you might not want to reconcile a difficult relationship, or consider why you might choose a Five of Swords path, because you have a choice between two. You have a choice between doing what's right, doing what's fair, and doing what is wrong, but it'll progress you, but it'll leave you lonely. I know which one I'd pick. And enjoy this. I think you'll enjoy how your heart feels after this reconciliation of sorts. Particularly if it's with an air sign, an earth sign, or Sagittarius. They'll all be in the extended. I will see you guys there. Bye, Capricorn.